He'll start 30th after a loose car in qualifying. They say patience is one of Allgaier's strengths. Well, he'll need plenty of it today, Marty.
All right, thanks, guys. The broadcast available in Spanish. All you have to do is activate your SAP button. It's presented by ESPN Deportes. No cars going to the rear. We can tell you those that did not qualify: Dennis Setzer, Mark Green, Scott Riggs, Jason Bowles, Brad Teague, Parker Kligerman, and Chris Lawson. So as we get ready to go green here at Bristol, let's reset this stage. And also, I guess we almost have a drag race. The pole sitter, Brad Keselowski, decided to do a last-minute lane change. He's gone to the outside.
That's right. Fastest qualifier gets lane choice, even in NASCAR. And you see that he has chosen that outside lane, and we'll see how it works out.
And look who's behind him. Just happens to be that 60 car.
Yeah, that might have been two different reasons Brad decided to do that. He might have saw something in cup practice that made him think about this, but he knows that the guy behind him is probably not going to run into him anytime soon here.
Well, let's...
Hey guys, y'all look good over there. Appreciate race cars this awesome. Are a lot of fun to drive, and it's a lot of fun to work with you guys. Thank you. Let's have a good day today.
Well, and one of the things we've talked about was the fact that the groove seemed to be working its way higher. You heard Carl even mention that that could be developing as the race progresses.
Yeah, let's don't forget, this is that new tire that Goodyear developed to put rubber down on the racetrack. Kind of did it for Indianapolis, but this worked good at other tracks. We see now that the sun's come out, it has started to take rubber, and it's going to affect the race today.
Well, and the other thing we should point out, all concrete surface does not have the same kind of effect when heat gets on it as an asphalt.
Yeah, and these guys are going to be chasing this today. You heard Drew Blichendorf talking about how they were going to have to chase, make adjustments, and chase this right to the very end.
43 cars. Did we squeeze them on to the world's fastest half-mile racetrack, and we are about to go green once again at Bristol Speedway. Don't forget, pit road speed is just 30 miles an hour. You don't want to get busted because it will cost you a lot. And we have just been told NASCAR is going to add another lap of caution, but don't know the exact reason why. Oh, they're trying to correct the pit road speed. In other words, they're trying to adjust the tax.
Well, it's just hard for these cars to get a good reading on their tachometer. They have to use that to judge their speed on pit road. NASCAR does a really good job of running that pace car at a consistent speed so they can get that. But when you got 43 cars on this little track, it's kind of hard to keep that speed consistent through the field.
Yeah, if you're not up in those first 3 or 4 rows, it makes it very difficult. If the guys won't keep up and stay right on the board, then you're not getting a true reading. You've seen a lot of races already this year be affected by that pit road speed.
Yeah, the other thing the drivers are trying to do is get those tires warmed up, get them ready to go here, and that kind of affects the guy behind them when they're trying to get a pit road speed.
Hey, we've got just a moment. Want to remind you quickly, don't go anywhere except over to ESPN2 at 5:30 because we'll have the showdown of our Legends race, and that will be live over on ESPN2.
That's going to be fun.
Dale Yarborough, David Pearson, loving that. So that's more before or after we put 300 laps in the books here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Lights are now out on the pace car. We're told we are going to go green this time by. Into turns 3 and 4. And as the pace car pulls off, race number 4 of the 2010 NASCAR Nationwide Series comes out of turn number 4 with pole sitter Brad Keselowski up on the high side, and we are green. Oh, and Keselowski gets loose.
Yeah, it didn't work out too good taking that outside lane right on the start.
Edwards gets around him. Kelly Byers is loose on the low side.
Yeah, I was concerned about that upper groove being a little bit slick. It's been sitting there for well over an hour without any cars being on it.
Now they did sweep it, and there's another car a little bit further back, the 32. Reed Sorensen, he gets high. He's going to lose some spots. Kelly Byers has got the 18. Here we go. Keselowski's just doesn't seem to have
look
the
at Byers.
Look out, Byers.
Loses it.
So already we've got a lot of wheel spin going on.
Yeah, these guys complained and talked to me a lot yesterday about how the exit of the corner was being affected by these tires. I think they're going to see racing side by side, which they haven't really done in practice, is going to be that wall was going to affect them more there. So that combination is going to make this really interesting.
You see Kyle Busch now trying to work a little bit on the outside.
On board with Casey Kane. He's in the 38 car today, not Jason Leffler. Leffler's in the 10. Battle for third. And it looks like our pole sitter is going to be bumped back to fourth as Kyle Busch goes around.
Yeah, a little swap over move. You saw Kyle Busch go up really high in the corner, but then came down on the bottom and made the pass.
Greg Biffle in the 27. The next target in line as he's sizing up the 22 of Brad Keselowski. We can tell you up front, Joey Logano's picked up about a 0.3 of a second lead, leading his first laps ever here at Bristol in the Nationwide Series.
You got a big jam up back behind this group.
James Busher, the number 1, is pulled into pit road.
He's got some damage on the front of that. And what I saw here yesterday in practice, these guys having to get out of the throttle on the exit of the corner. That's going to really create a backup and a lot of contact.
Biffle has gotten around the 22. Here comes Kane underneath the 22 of Keselowski. I can tell you that Johnny Chapman has already parked his car behind the wall as our first starting park.
I don't know what Brad Keselowski's fighting, but his car is going way up in the corner.
Now, Kelly Byers seems to have the same issue as well because he's right behind him there as he has been loose since the start.
Heard a lot of guys talk about that their car's bottoming out on this racetrack.
See, right on the start right here, Keselowski gets really loose. Carl Edwards has to make it 3 wide, and then you see Kelly Byers almost spin underneath.
Yeah, we talked about that rubber being getting down on the racetrack. You see on the exit right here, and this is where I think we're going to see a lot of problems today. But that rubber being built up on the track that we saw through Cup practice, that sits there in the sun, it's just getting hotter. I think it's going to just create more problems. Here's the contact with the 1 car.
Oh, and Trevor Bayne. We have not seen that part. We just saw the end result.
Yeah, we see that a lot here at Bristol when you got a car right up on your outside. Sometimes you don't see him out there, and you go out for that extra room on the wall, and you get turned straight into it.
This is the battle for the race lead. Joey Logano, Carl Edwards. Edwards is closing down on him now. The biggest lead was 0.3 of a second. It's now down to about 1/10.
Yeah, they've got company right behind them.
Right behind them. You see that 18 car sneaking in the picture. There's Kyle Busch.
Kyle said in our pre-race show, if you were with us, he says it's about 100% luck here. You can have the greatest car in the world, as he found out twice last year, and not
these
win the race.
Leaders are also catching lap traffic, so that's going to make it a little more interesting too.
Yeah, and we're not even 15 laps into this race, and they're already caught the tail end of the field. Here comes Carl Edwards try this on the low side. I think this is going to be difficult to do on the bottom.
While all this is going on, Carl takes another look on the low side, can't get it done, and here comes Kyle on the outside. We can tell you James Busher did go back out on the track after coming into pit road. He had a commit lane violation. He's 5 laps down.
Well, you can see Kyle Busch had a run on Carl Edwards for that second spot, but ran in on lap traffic.
Yeah, Eric McClure, the 24 car, once it breaks your momentum, you got to start all over. Now you see more lap traffic coming into play as the 56 of Kevin LePage goes a lap down.
I can tell you, this is going to be a difficult day for these guys, already lapping traffic here.
Battle for 11th, the 33 of Kevin Harvick, the 5-time winner here, and Stephen Wallace right alongside. And here comes the 21 of John West Townley trying to get into that mix as well. And Brendan Gaughan, Stephen's teammate. Brendan always likes that higher line. Seems to work pretty well for him, although they have been chasing that car throughout practice and in through qualifying. Come back up front and you're saying, whoa, wait a minute, Kyle Busch. Yes, he has moved around Carl Edwards and now into second position, and he is closing in on Joey Logano. So the 2 Joe Gibbs Racing machines, and Joe Gibbs Racing has never won here in the Nationwide Series at Bristol. Running 1-2.
They've always had fast race cars here. Just the luck's never been on their side. Still got fast race cars today.
That's more lap traffic to get around Derek Cope. They've already put Morgan Shepherd and Andy Ponstein both a lap down.
You see just how difficult it is, how quickly they caught this lap car, but now they're having a difficult time getting around him.
Yeah, Cope's got the preferred line, and the lower line.
Oh, it looks like Kyle Busch may have scraped the wall right there. Real close call.
You just can't hold it. Remember, that's 26 degrees banking down at the bottom of the track, graduating up to 30.
Lead now.
Here we go, and Kyle's going to take the high side around the 73. Cope's going to feel like a sandwich. And there goes Kyle.
Yeah. Let's say Derek Cope might hold one of them off. He can't hold 3 of them off.
So give the race lead now to the 18 of Kyle Busch. He becomes our second leader.
Casey Kane up in this mix now too. He's found his way up into the 3rd spot.
Got around the 60 of Carl Edwards and is closing quickly. And he likes that high line. Remember, we talked with him before that, and he said it could become a problem a little bit later in the race because you're going to run out of room with the change in the safer barriers. There's your top 5 after 22 of 300 laps here at Bristol.
ESPN's coverage of the NASCAR Nationwide Series on ABC. Brought to you by Nationwide Insurance. Call or visit us online for a quote today.